Welcome to the first episode of Glow and Grow. This series was created to celebrate the beauty, strength, and stories of women entrepreneurs. Today I'm featuring Sandra Aleman, the founder of Plan My Party LA. While I transformed her makeup look inside her warehouse, she shared the story behind her business, the challenges she overcame, and the heart that goes into building something of her own. Let's step into her world and hear how her journey began.
My name is Sandra Aleman, and I own Plan My Party LA, which is a backdrop and balloon design company. The extension to my business is also that I teach balloon master classes. Well, it wasn't something that I planned. I was actually in real estate prior to my business now. I was a stay-at-home mom for like 4 years, and I was finally getting to a place where, okay, I need to go back to work because my son was at an age where he was ready to go to school, and it was right around COVID. So I went back to the office, started prospecting, looking for new clients, and COVID hit. And then it was like, oh my God, I'm back at the house again. Everyone's home. What do I do? Well, I mean, I was just like, I'm just gonna, stay home again. I guess for many years, because I would have events for the kids and just throw events for them. Like my friends, my family would always say, why aren't you doing this for a living? Like, this is what you should do for a living. But I would never really consider it because I guess, those limiting like the mindset or just the thoughts that come in, like, who would ever pay me to do their event? Right. So I guess it was just more fear or not believing that I could actually do something like that, even though I loved it and it's like a passion when I would decorate their parties. It was just so fun. So then while I was home, I started to just think, well, maybe I should start my event, like an event company, right? And I kept thinking about it and just pondering it, but I wouldn't take action. So one day I woke up with a massive urgency in my spirit. Like I had a dream that my company name would be Plan My Party. I woke up, Plan My Party, right away. And I felt like the Lord was like, if you do not do this, you're not gonna have peace. So I just immediately, I didn't even get out of bed, girl. I started an Instagram for Plan My Party, a Facebook for Plan My Party, and if you go down on my page, it would be why? Who would even hire you, right? Off of the photos that I did put. Because they were just the events that I did for my kids, they weren't elaborate events. They were just low budget, but there was creativity to them, And I just figured, okay, well, this is all I have, so I'm just gonna put it out there and just let all my friends and family know that this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do events. And little by little, girl, I started doing just giveaways on there, for every certain followers that I would hit. I would ask my friends and family if I could do their events and all that. I would donate my time, but they would just have to sponsor all the stuff that I needed.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I got the ball rolling. And I think I finally niched towards balloons because I noticed that people were doing drive-by celebrations, and I started getting interest in other artists that I would see online, doing the balloon bouquets. So they're balloon stacks that stand, and you can theme them to age of the person. You put the age there and then the theme. So it could be any theme with a number balloon on it. And then we just promote it as no contact delivery. And those things blew up, girl. Selling them so much. And I think that's what kind of catapulted me, the balloon bouquet. It's just history, I guess, from there. I grew my following from social media through the giveaways that I would do. I would do a bunch of giveaways for every certain amount of followers. I would do like a free balloon bouquet delivery. And then, obviously there were like rules and regulations, how a giveaway works. And that just like helped just really exponentially grow my platform. But then once I had like the book did busy, right? And I thought to myself, I need to start teaching these classes, right, as an extension to my business. But again, like who's gonna take the class? The limiting mindset again, like who's gonna actually want to take a class with me, or who am I? Like who's gonna trust me with that? Or I just kind of got started just got started myself, and I don't really have that much experience. And honestly, I hadn't even taken a class myself. And so I was like, what am I gonna teach them, right? Basically, everything that I know. But I just said, okay, well, it was in the back of my head. A whole year went by, and my Widow Studio, which is the event space that I use for my classes, she reached out to me on a DM, and she said, hey, we're offering workshops, and she kind of gave me like a deal when I first started. And I said, you know what, if this is not a sign from the Lord to say, you need to just go do it now, like what are you doing? Like someone actually opened up this opportunity for you, and you need to just take action, like immediate action. So then right away I was just like, I reached out and I said, okay, I would like to host a class at your event space, and we kind of went from there. And we held the first class, and we actually had a good amount of people like show up. She was like, wow, you actually had some people make it to the class. But not only did I do that, I reached out to like other brands, and I was like, you guys sponsor this class. And it started off with one sponsorship to the next. Then I had another company reach out to me and say, we want to sponsor the class. And then another one, I want to sponsor your class too. So as I grew, I got those sponsorships, right? Those brands to kind of like come alongside me to make it much more, fun, and people now want to take this class because it's a reputable class, right? You have brands backing you up. And it's been such a blessing though, like having them like kind of rally us alongside me to make the class that much more exciting and fun. They give out giveaways on, they provide our products, and all I have to do is kind of just show up, teach the class. I've had like opportunities even from my students, they'll reach out later and say, can we hire you for an event, right? That has brought on corporate accounts through it. So it's been a good experience teaching classes. Last year, I actually had the opportunity to fly out to Ohio to teach at a national balloon convention. Wow. With the Tuftex brand. And they're a brand of balloons. They're the only brand that I use, really. And they've been so supportive of my journey. And to give you like a platform like that at a convention all the way in Ohio was very humbling. So I'm just really grateful for the journey, right?
It sounds like everything that you've gone through there was a little hint of an action to take.
Yes.
You always bound to that action.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't always immediate. like the first initial, right? Like I got up and I'm like, oh my God, take action, because I felt so much urgency. Then that fear kind of kicked in again, when it came to the classes. I feel like God always, will work things together for our good. So if we just was like, okay, well, I'll just give you a little push and put this in front of you. And I just knew that it was just like a divine moment. Like, okay, take it, go for it. And I don't even know where they come from every time I do take a class, like all the students. They're just like have a belief, like, okay, they're coming, they're gonna sign up. And like my job is to just diligent with like posting content and marketing the class and then putting it out there.
Yeah.
And just believing that through that content creation that people will sign up for it. That's another thing I had to learn, right? Creating content, like that's another job in itself. And that was fearful too because remember when Instagram was just pictures? And it was like your picture would go viral, right? But then when they did the whole reel, you know, it was like a generation of reels to come, and I didn't know how to create a reel, and I was afraid of like even exploring it, right? Like it was like intimidating to me to try to figure it out, but I just did. I just started messing with every button and watching tutorials as well to figure out, you know, all the things. You feel it like in your heart and your spirit, like, no, good. Something good's gonna come out of it. You just have to take action, honestly, because like the greatest thing you can do, like the worst thing you can do is just not, and that would be your greatest failure, right?
Yeah. Never trying.
Never trying. But like, even if you fail forward. Like, okay, I made that mistake, but I learned from it. And then I just move forward and I don't make that mistake again. Like, had I not woken up that day and put it into play, right? I might be like in the real estate world, but it used to bring me so much stress. It's like not your calling.
Yeah.
So you just don't feel good about it. So
It almost feels more resistant too.
Yeah.
You don't feel like that same passion that I'm hearing from your voice when you talk about your career now. It doesn't sound the same as when you talk about real estate. You're like, oh.
right, it was so stressful for me. But doing this, it's like I just love it so much. It's never work. Even if I have to get up like one of my corporate accounts with CAC Medicine at USC, I mean, there was a time where they were like having me on site at 5 a.m., you know, and I never felt like, oh God, I gotta go. I always felt excited about it. And that just makes me excited to see like people's faces, even when they smile and they're like so excited because their event came to life, you know? It's almost like therapy when you're working with your hands and your mind, you're just creating something. It's like an art, right?
Yep.
Some people could be like, oh, it's just a balloon, but it's really like art.
Yeah. Well, you turn it into art,
Yeah.
and you see it differently than an average person sees it. You see the beauty in it.
Yeah, love it. It's like you can spruce up any little space with balloons, right? Or backdrops and props and just bring a whole event to life. Like you get to be part of that memory that a family is like photographing right in front of the setup that you created with all your heart, right? And so it's like, wow, I get to be a part of that milestone in their life. And a lot of my clients do become like family too. They keep coming back and become just someone that I truly appreciate because they can find someone else, right? They continue to work with you or refer you. So that's beautiful too. Helping me be more confident is just like having a relationship with the Lord and with God. And so like I know that the things that like the limiting things that I've had on the inside of me were from past experiences, right? Like childhood traumas and things like that like limit you. But like he didn't put those things there, so it's like renewing your mind is so important. Like who does he say you are? Like that's my mindset. Like what does he say about me? And if he says that about me, then that's what it is. So that's kind of like the final authority over my life is like his word and building that relationship with him. And just like wanting to live a life that not, I don't know, like a life that's not just about me, but about others too, right? Like my children, I have 2 kids. Like they're watching me, right? And so the actions that we take, they do trickle into eternity, right? Because they're handed down from generation to generation. So in everything that I do, whether it's my parenting, whether it's, you know, my business, as a wife, like there's just so many different roles that I play.
Yeah.
But like being that role model for them. And so me taking that leap of faith and saying, I'm gonna do this business, even if it's just balloons, and they get to see like mom succeeding, that creates like security in them. Like if mom did it, I can do it, you know? You know, they're proud of their mom. Like she's doing what she loves, she's having fun, she's successful at it. And then it also helps you to be a role model for like the lives that you speak into, right? Like I have a group of women that I get to walk alongside, and so just kind of inspiring them too, right? Through the life that you're living, like, hey, you know, you can do it. Tell them like it's a process, right? Like life is a process, and we just have to be consistent because fear, right? Anxiety, all the things that try to cripple us, like if we allow it to stay, it's going to stay. The more we renounce those things and we just decide to speak life into ourselves, into like what we want to accomplish, the dreams that we have, and we just take immediate action, like we'll have fruit, we'll have results. I mean, think about all the people that are successful in the world. If we could actually interview them, right?
Yeah.
All the billionaires and millionaires. I mean,
There's so many.
there's so many stories, and they're all like, they could all tell you a story like, I tried 20 million times, and then, right, I failed this many times before I got the yes, or I got that one account that gave me that breakthrough moment, or that one client, or that one idea, right? That God idea that just changed a whole generation, right? There's been even inventions that have changed the way we live because somebody thought of that, and had they not said yes to it, where would we be, right? So like,
Oh, we're still in a cave.
right, exactly, thank you.
Hiding from like
Trisha,
a
yes.
giant tiger. Like that.
Oh my God, yes. And you know, obviously it takes a village too sometimes. Like I know that for me, my husband was very supportive. Like when I decided that I was going to do this, at first he was kind of like, wait a minute, like you want to do balloons and parties? You're going to be a millionaire being in real estate, right? Like you're going to make the big bucks in real estate. And so he kind of was, you know, I don't know about this, but if it's what you want to do, fine, you know, like I support you. And once he saw like how much happiness it brought me, how creative, how fun it was, like he couldn't really picture it until he saw me actually doing it, and he was like, you're really good at this, and we need to get you a van, we need to do this. And he was the one that was like always, let's take it to the next level. Like even like this warehouse space was because he was like, it actually came through his client. His client owns the buildings here, and he just said, you know, my wife is taking over the house with all these balloons. I think she needs this, she's outgrown the house, she needs a space, you know? Do you have any units available? And he's all, you know what the crazy thing is, that like the people that are here have been here 50 plus years, but I actually have a space opening up at the end of the month.
That's so cool.
And he's like, we'll take it, you know? And so he's all perfect. So they gave us like an amazing deal. So basically like what I was paying for my van, what I was paying for my storage unit equals out to what I would be paying here monthly. So it was just, again, the Lord was like, okay, I'm gonna provide, so I'm gonna, you know, be out of your comfort zone. And we're here now. And it was because he was like, you know, he believed in me. Like, no, you gotta grow, you can't stay at home, you gotta have your own space. But they never complained. Like, even when the house was filled with balloons, you know, I never got a complaint, like, oh my God, these balloons, or anything like that. It was always like, oh, Mom, gotta work, you know? So now it's a blessing because I have my own space and I have my house back. But like I said, it's a process. It's what, 6 years in the business, and we got the space last year. So it didn't happen overnight, you know? It just took me being consistent and staying the course. And there was a time where like I had to take every job, you know? Now it's like there's minimums, right? But before it was like, I'll take anything because I have to get that portfolio going. I have to, you know? Every client is important. And now it's more like, okay, I have to have minimums and boundaries, right?
Yeah.
But I appreciate all my clients, and I know that, you know, pricing is a big thing, right? Like, how do you take care of everyone? So I have all kinds of, you know, options from very high end to come and pick it up. You know, come and pick it up. I'll have it ready, and making it more affordable for people that can't really put out a really high budget. You know? And the space here has really helped me do that. Because now I can put together orders and people can just pick them up. You know, one of my students or someone that I already have a built relationship with, and I'll bring them on as a team member, right, on my Party LA. However, if I do really break into the corporate world, then I can put together a team where they're kind of doing most of the work for me, and I'm really just like the face of it and just selling it. Right? So yeah, I would definitely love to tap into that. I think the next thing too is we are only doing in-person master classes at this time, and we do get, you know, inquiries of like, do you do online classes? Do you offer online classes? And I know that's something that's kind of been in my heart to do too, like have some kind of academy like online. Just again, like who's the team that's gonna record this, right? Who's the team that's gonna be behind creating the content, putting it all together? So I think that's the next step, just really scaling into the corporate world so that I can finally launch the online training. Because then you can really hit the masses, right? Or even having some pre-recorded stuff, maybe for the more intricate designs, and selling them on my website. That's like another thing that I thought of. Yeah, whatever God has, He's gonna make sure it happens. So yeah, I think just definitely want to scale. I tell my husband, you know, having a business requires you to be able to be outside of it and it's still functioning, right? Still running. So I definitely want to get to a point where there's a team that's set in place. And maybe, who knows, I was even talking to a past client yesterday at a walkthrough and telling her, I don't know, I've thought about opening up a storefront, you know, but the thought of me being glued to the store with a 10-year-old at home that wants his money is a little bit much, because I know that even though I love balloons, I love my job, I love my passion, my family, right, my son, being a mom is like my first calling, because you'll never get those years back. And so I think for me, I think that's probably why I continue to kind of stay where I'm at right now, because it's comfortable still, and it's not pulling me away from being that mommy that I know that I'm called to be. But I mean, 10, and then all of a sudden he'll be like 18, 21. So then maybe at that time explore more options. Aside from being fearful, I think just having that consistency and that perseverance when it may seem like it's starting to get slow, or when you're not booked and busy, like say, you know, a couple of weeks, that can get a little discouraging, right? Because you're like, where's everybody at? But what I've realized is that even when that happens, like, I swear the Lord always provides, because here comes that corporate account that just paid me for the last 3 months, you know? You just have to stay consistent. I think that just that, the challenge of like, is this gonna work out, you know? It's just mental. I think it's more mental. The thoughts of like fear that will continue to come in as everyone's done. Or like, structuring your business on the back end has been challenging for me because I'm the creator, the creative, right? So when you talk to me about, you gotta have systems in place, then that could be challenging. So it's always a learning curve when you're like, oh, I can make it more, I can be more effective if this is in place, right? So having to learn those things along the way too. How to structure on the back end so that things can flow better. And I think that when you don't take immediate action on those, like your blessings can be withheld too. Because it's like he's saying, if you're not faithful with a little, then how can I trust you with more, right? And so I've had to learn that too. Like, okay, if I want overflow, then you gotta get all your ducks in order, girl. Like everything on the back end. Because what if it starts to really like come in? Then what? Are you so not organized, right? Disorganized. Like recently, last year, I finally like created a Google account. I finally created a website, like an actual website. Like these little things that you should be doing from the beginning, right? And I think the little things that need to be done to structure your business effectively. Like don't think, oh, this is just a side hustle right now. Let's see if it works out, because that's how I treated it in the beginning. Let's see if it works out. And then when it worked out, I was like, I think I need to go get put a business, like make it an actual business, right? So that was the challenges for me, not doing it right from the very beginning. Well, my advice would be that you would just believe in yourself. You know, there's some type of urgency on the inside of you. Those are the gifts, those are the talents that God has placed on the inside of you. And so you should take a leap of faith and take immediate action. There's always going to be challenges as you take that leap of faith. But the key is that you're persistent and that you're consistent, and then you will see the results that you're hoping to see. I think that the best thing you should do is figure out what that niche is that you want to get into and take some classes. I didn't ever take any classes, and so that was another learning curve for me. So who's your mentor, who speaks into your life is important too. Nothing is new under the sun, right? So someone has already went out before you and laid a path for you to follow. So I think that you just have to find that. Like, who can help you? Who can you learn from? What classes can you take? How can you grow in that area? And then you'll just add your purpose, your gift to it, and then you'll start to see results. And you'll start to see the fruit of it. As you work with the Lord, He will open up that space for you to really grow. So just believe in yourself. That's the main thing. Things are not meant to be perfect, and I think that when we go through the biggest challenges is when we come out on the other side of it. That's where we experience like full maturity, full growth, right? Because and then even like an appreciation for where you are, because if you don't go through the fire, then how can you even appreciate when you are on the other side of your breakthrough or your growth? So just enjoy the journey. I think enjoying and embracing it is another key thing too. Just be all in. Just say yes and be all in.
Hey, Brennan, take a look.
Okay, ready? Oh my goodness! The eyelashes! Oh, I love it. So natural.
If you need a balloon decor for an event or want to take one of her master balloon classes, follow and reach out to Sandra on Instagram. And if you love inspiring women and transformation like this, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next Glow and Grow episode.